Good day to you, fine folks. It's a rainy, grey, grumpy day, and we have nothing better to do than to try and hack Instagram. So let's do it. So lately, my friends and I have been talking a lot about Instagram and how we wish it was and how it's not and how it used to be and how we didn't take advantage of it back in the days when it was easy. But that's unproductive, so let's try and work with what we got today. All of this was back in October, and as you can see, I'm still back in the other room. And that was the beginning of a video that never actually got finished. I wanted to make this week-long experiment with Instagram, but I don't quite remember why. I kind of quit in the middle of it and never got finished, and the video never got finished. So you never saw it. But lately I was thinking that I would like to pick up that idea again, so that's what we are doing this week. I'm going to use some of the old introduction because no need to say the same things again, make the same research again, because past me already has. So let's see what she has to say. These social media places do matter for me in a way that I see them as a place where I can show my work, and hopefully people who care about work like mine can find me and we can have a nice little community and be happy together and support each other and live happily ever after in artist heaven. But the problem is that it's hard for us to find each other. So Instagram is kind of like our matchmaker. Unfortunately, it's not really working for any of us, it's working for itself. So we need to try and find a way to give it what it wants in a way that it's also going to give us what we want. So, like it or not, we gotta make friends with that Instagram thing. The villain in this picture is the evil Instagram algorithm that only tries to push you down and force you to pay for advertisement, which, let's be honest, I'm not going to do. So anyway, in this video, I want to make an experiment which is going to last for 1 week, which is not really a good amount of time to be making an experiment, but it's all the time I can dedicate to that at the moment, and even that's a bit, I could probably be using my time in better ways, but I'm willing to do it for science. So what is the experiment going to be about? First of all, we're going to do a little bit of research and try and figure out what Instagram wants from us. Then we're going to set some rules that I'm going to be playing by. And then I'm going to do these things that we define. And then I'm going to spend a week doing the things that supposedly I should be doing in order to get more out of Instagram. And in the end, we're going to meet back here once again and evaluate the experience. So, first of all, research. I actually did some of that yesterday, and the main points that gurus seem to agree on are as follows. Instagram likes relationships, meaning that it's trying to create those like friends groups. So if you often talk to people, it assumes that you're having a relationship, so it's pushing each other's content to each other. I don't know if that made any sense, but basically you're more likely to see more of your friends' posts, and your friends are more likely to see more of your posts. Okay, I don't think I explained this well enough, so I'm popping up to explain myself. I think what I was meaning to say is that when you go on the explore page, you tend to see mostly content that has been liked by your friends, by the people that you already follow. And the other way around, they're seeing more of the stuff that you like. So the more often you interact with a person, the more Instagram thinks you're friends and shows each other content to each other. And that also counts when you're not following each other. On top of that, the more a person interacts with your content, the more their followers are seeing your content. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this well enough, even in this explainer clip, but I hope it makes more sense than the first time around. The next thing is frequency. You probably don't want to post 5 times in a day and then not come back for a month. Actually, as I've read all of this and now repeating them, I feel like there's nothing really new about this algorithm and this whole thing. It's always been the same things, consistency and frequency and relationships. So I'm not really sure exactly what has changed, but there you go. And then supposedly also it calculates how long you spend on the platform. So the more you use it, the more you'll be rewarded, I guess. And there was a bunch more other stuff, but I don't want to go on and on forever. So these are some things we are going to be shooting for, and how are we going to fulfill those requirements is by creating some rules for ourselves. So the rules that I'm going to follow through this social week are, I'm going to endeavor to post once a day. So actually the reason why I chose to do this in this week is because I've already decided a few weeks ago to participate in this weekly challenge. You've probably noticed this on Instagram. Every now and then there is something week, like, I don't know, at one point I hosted one that was called My Spring Week. Anyway, they just have a theme and they take a place over a week, and there's a prompt for each day, and you draw something connected to that prompt. For this week, the one that I've decided to do is called Bon Voyage Week, and it's about travel. And I thought, especially now when we are stuck and can't really travel, it could be fun to travel virtually through drawing. This week I'm participating in that challenge, and the prompt got announced a few weeks back. So I'm actually preparing the illustrations I'm posting a few days early so that I can make sure that I have something to post every day. And this way, this helps to follow the rule of consistency, because I'm going to post as part of this challenge. It's going to be all the same theme of travel. I'm even going to stick with the same color palette because it's my current favorite color palette and I want to. Another thing that is quite great about these mini challenges that I have discovered in the past while participating in them is that they have a small community that is involved in them and a small hashtag. So if you participate in something huge like Inktober, it's not very likely that many people are going to discover you, because there are tons of amazing people out there doing it. And if you're not already amazing and known, it's hard to compete with that. Well, these small weekly challenges are hosted by a bunch of artists, and they're basically bringing their own communities to the challenge. And of course, anyone who sees that challenge is welcome to participate, but the competition to be seen isn't that big. The hashtags are very active, so you get to meet a lot of nice people and have a nice engagement. And this is based on previous experiences with similar challenges that I've done in the past. Basically, I will highly recommend them if you're in that drawing community. I guess something like that exists in other communities. I just don't know. The illustration one is the only one that I really follow. So that's something I wanted to add. Okay, it's another me again. Sorry, this video is probably super patchy and confusing, but I'm just trying to save you some of the rumbling of past me. So basically, for the rest of the rules that we are following this week, the first one was posting daily, the second one is posting daily stories, and the third one is engaging with people in the comments and on their own posts. So basically going out and having conversations with people about their own posts. So yesterday, when it was actually Monday, I've taken a screenshot of all my stats, including my followers number and all these stats that you get in the Insights tab, meaning which are impressions, engagement, and all these random numbers. Well, they're not random and so on. And I'm going to compare these to the ones I get within a week to see if there is any increase, which I mean, there probably will be, because in the couple of weeks I wasn't all that active on Instagram. I was doing fairly okay with posting stories and talking to people privately, but I wasn't that much active on the feed or talking to people that I don't normally talk to. So I don't know if that's the perfect time to make this comparison, because my assumption is that there will definitely be difference in engagement for sure. Although, if there isn't, that just means it's better to do nothing. Doubt that would be the outcome. But anyway, and again, let me say that all these numbers, they shouldn't matter that much. We shouldn't care about all these likes and things. I would say we should care more about the comments and the actual conversations we have with people, because I think these are valuable. As for the amount of likes, I feel like it's kind of complicated, because of course they matter and also of course they don't, depending on how you look at it. When you're trying to use social media as a way to promote your business, of course they would matter, because the more people you reach, the more likely it will be for you to make a living doing this drawing thing. And at the same time, this number doesn't necessarily speak to your abilities. So what I want to say, I guess, is that caring about those numbers doesn't necessarily mean that you're self-obsessed or whatever. I just see it as a necessary part of my work, because if my work is not reaching people, it is pointless. Part of the reason why I draw is because it's very enjoyable and fun to me, but unless the work I create also brings joy to other people or does something valuable for other people, that would just be a hobby. So for me, all those numbers matter in that way, in a way that it tells me kind of how far my message reaches. And the reason why I'm trying to improve those numbers is because I want to reach more people and to connect to more people. And not because I think having some big numbers makes me great or anything. I don't know. I hope this makes sense, because social media definitely has a lot of pitfalls that can be harmful to people, and I'm trying to stay away from that. But as I said, I want illustration to be my job, and it cannot be unless I'm connecting to people. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Hello again, folks. It's a week later, it's Monday again, and it's time to review our little Instagram experiment and see what happened, if anything. So, what did I actually do? I posted every day, with just one exception, yesterday, because I just couldn't finish my drawing on time to post it. But other than that, I posted six images that I believe are quite high quality. They took me quite a while to produce. I think making the content for this challenge, experiment, whatever, has probably taken about 2, maybe 2.5 days in total, which is a bit, so hopefully there is some return on that. On the other hand, I didn't post almost any stories because I just had so much work, I couldn't come up with that. I also didn't engage all that much in interactions, and by that I mean I didn't go out of my way to talk to people. I always respond to comments, of course, but I didn't actively comment on other people's work all that much. I did a little bit of that, but I didn't have time to really put my attention into it and really do it every day consistently. So I didn't do all the things I intended for this experiment. I did what I could, what I had time for. What were the results? Well, I did gain 39 new followers. There was definitely increase in comments and likes altogether. It's hard to quantify that. There was a huge difference in the reach, whatever that means. I imagine it means how many people altogether come across your content, regardless of whether they react to it in any way or not. It just appeared on their feed somewhere. That's how I understand it. I don't know if that's what it really means, but that number has jumped about 2,000 over the week, which is a lot, I guess. The number of impressions has also doubled, whatever that means. I have no idea what impressions means. Should I look it up? Okay, I'll look it up for you. Okay, so I was wrong. Impressions is actually what I described as reach. Impressions is the number of times your content has been shown to people, whether in stories, feed, post, whatever. So reach is the total number of unique accounts that have come across your content, a post or a story, and to be honest, I still don't understand what the difference is. I imagine the more the merrier, you like these numbers to be higher, because the more people come across your account, the more chance you have to make a good impression on those people and to connect with them. Another metric from my insights is interactions. I do hope that that is what it sounds like and that has increased with 116. So again, we have a big growth compared to the week before the experimental week. Another metric I came across was growth for the week before the experimental week. That has been -2 for me. And this week it was 28. I'm killing it with those numbers. So these are some numbers from the statistics insights tab on Instagram. Obviously everything has grown, whatever, it's great. The thing is, how much is that actually matter? Short answer is I have no idea. But on social media we are all obsessed with the numbers, so the higher the numbers, the happier we are. But what will be interesting for me to do in the future is sort of a reverse experiment where I track what happens if I don't post any content on the feed at all or barely, and focus more on the stories and interactions through me, basically me interacting with other people intentionally instead of just reacting to their interactions with me. So basically, instead of responding to private messages and comments, it would be me going and talking to other people. I have this theory in my head that that actually might be a lot more beneficial than just only posting images. And I think in the end, it needs to be a healthy combination of both. As I said, for one individual whose job isn't only Instagram, I don't think it's realistic to post and interact and do all these things all day, every day, all the time. But I think it is possible to do if you focus on having 2 or 3 posts a week, and on top of that have a lot of healthy interactions with people. I have no idea if this video made any sense or made any worthwhile points. I think it was beneficial for me, but I have no idea if I've been able to communicate what I've discovered for myself. In the not too distant future, I would like to make a part 2, sort of a experiment where I will focus more on the interactions instead of the content, and would like to share with you how that goes, because I'm actually really curious about it, and we'll see. Maybe I will do it next week. Yeah, I don't know yet. I have to really look where I can fit it in my calendar, because it has to be a week that is a little more empty so that I have time for these interactions. And anyway, I also hope that this doesn't come across as a desperate cry for internet attention and numbers and likes and things. Of course, there is some of that in there, but it's not just for the sake of the numbers. As I've probably mentioned already, I just see this as a way to help me with my very small business that I would like to grow a little bigger, and that I would like to be my main source of income, which is currently not. So I think that will be all for this probably pretty long video. I hope I can edit it down to a digestible length, but I'm a bit scared. I hope it was helpful in some way if you're trying to do something similar to what I'm trying to do, if it is clear at all what I'm trying to do, because I feel like I'm pretty bad at explaining with words what I'm doing. But making videos like that has been a great practice for that. So thank you for joining me in my ramblings and in my experiments and things. And let me know your thoughts if you had any. And I will see you next week. And until then, try to have fun, especially with the things that are not fun. Have a good week.